Okay. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I am Kiera. If this is your first time on my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, have the post notifications turned on so that you don't miss when I upload videos. I upload every single Wednesday at 10 a.m. and of course, you don't want to miss this amazing content. Alright, so this is a different style video. I don't have a script. I don't know what I'm gonna talk about. I just kind of wanted to film and talk. I haven't really filmed and talked in a video in a long time, so you're gonna get different pieces of me in this video. Kind of wanted to film this video because I feel like I like to come on the camera and be picture perfect a lot of the times. I don't know, that's just who I am when it comes to content creation, and I feel like right now I'm in a place where I just want to be a little bit more open about things that I've been going through as far as not feeling motivated to do certain things, and so yeah, I don't want to get into too many details on this video because I don't want it to be an emotional style video. I don't really want to drop any tears this video. I do want to be vulnerable with you guys, but I don't want to be crying and things like that. So if I cut the cameras because I was about to cry, and I ain't being a little sent today. I'm trying to be, yeah. I feel like I just been going through normal people shit. I've definitely been going through a lot of normal people shit. I'm in a place of recovering from a breakup right now, and I feel like I mask a lot of my emotions pretending to be happier than I actually am, especially when it's time to show up on social media. Now, this isn't recently, but a lot of times in the past I would do this, and I would pretend to be happier than what I was. And to be completely honest with myself, I've been unhappy for about 2 years, if I want to be completely honest with myself. There's been spurts of happiness. If you've watched any of my previous videos, and I just seem super happy, you can tell genuine happiness. Am I saying that word right? It sounds so weird. You could tell when someone is genuinely happy versus when someone is not really happy or not all the way there. And there is a couple videos on the channel where I'm genuinely, I'm just really happy, and then you have the other videos where I feel like I'm just filming it because I need to push content. And a lot of that came from me just always trying to show up as the best version of myself. And I feel like a lot of times that is what causes you to, that I feel like that causes the healing process to last a little bit longer when you try to avoid, certain emotions and feeling a certain way. It just sometimes feels like every time I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself as far as emotionally, in healing from certain situations, it's the moment I feel like I'm doing good or even showing that I'm better, it's I get knocked back down, and I'm why? Why does this keep happening to me? And then I would just keep, pushing. And a lot of times, recently, it's been affecting my creativity, and I feel like I've been kind of blocked off from creating certain type of content. As far as sit down motivational videos, I've been doing more readings and test your intuition style videos because it's easier for me to not show my face when I'm feeling vulnerable like that. Although I'm trying to get better at that. I'm trying to get better at that just by being myself, being who I am, and not being afraid to show up as as I am. I am Kiera. That's literally the name of my channel. And when I made this channel, I made a vow to myself that I would just be who I am on this channel. I do have another channel, and I feel like I kind of got washed out on that channel because I was trying to be a content creator, and when I created this channel, I wanted to come and be as authentic as possible. And I feel like that's a little hard sometimes, especially when you are when you're afraid of people judging you. I feel like a lot of the times I was afraid that people were going to judge me for just the littlest things, by the way I talk, the way I act, my random outbursts. I've been called weird a lot in my life, and I started to accept the fact that I was called weird and taking on the trait of being weird, and it kind of made me go into this shell of not wanting to show exactly who I am. I feel like a lot of people, and this is one of the problems, what I'm about to say is one of the main problems that I need to eliminate out of my life, but I feel like a lot of people see me as this certain girl because I show up as this certain girl. I show up as Keyerakaye. And that's the name that I created for myself when I first started my old YouTube channel. I started going by Keyerakaye, and I feel like I started to show up as Keyerakaye, but not as Kiera. And I know that sounds weird, but you know, you got to take it with a grain of salt when I say this. I'm not saying I have like split personalities or anything like that, but Keyerakaye is completely different from Kiera. Like Kiera and Keyerakaye are not the same, and a lot of people that will probably like know me personally will know that Keyerakaye and Kiera are two different people. And even I have a nickname. My family calls me Buki, and I even feel like Kiera, Buki, and Keyerakaye are completely different people. Like Keyerakaye is like more, she's on her shit, and Kiera is just like more fun and lighthearted and just down to earth and just like, you know, just not giving a care. And then Buki, I like don't even like say my nickname out loud, but I feel like that part of me is what was expected of me when I was growing up, and the characteristics of what everybody else wanted me to be. Tough girl, you know, stuff like that. Like just, I was just, you know, the saying, a product of your environment. Like that is who Buki is, you know. And like I'm getting to a place where I'm learning to accept all parts of me. So it's not like I'm just saying, okay, this is me, this is me, this is me. Because I would try to divide myself into different areas of my life, and I would try to show up as Keyerakaye, or, you know, professional Kiera at certain spaces of my life, and then I would try to be Buki when I'm around my family and stuff like that. And it's like I had to like come to a realization that if people can't accept me for all of me, and I have to turn off certain parts of myself, that I wasn't even, like, I don't really need to be around those type of people is basically what I'm trying to say. And my foot is going to sleep from sitting on this floor, so I'm about to like rotate. Basically, I'm just trying to show up as myself and, you know, just be confident in who I am, every part of myself, and not turning off parts of myself for people. I feel like I turn off parts of myself a lot. I feel like the only people that really, really know the true me is like my parents and my siblings, like that really, really, really know me as like me for me. And also like a lot of people that knew me a year ago, 2 years ago, I am not the same person. Like I've grown and changed so much, and a lot of the growth and change was not in my control. Like I was forced to outgrow certain situations and certain people. And I feel like when you're in spaces like that where you actually have to grow, my foot is so sleepy. When you actually have to like when you're, let me adjust my foot. It hurts so bad. When you are at a place where you have to like forcefully outgrow somebody, like by force, and it's not because of you, because you wanted to outgrow this person, I feel like that is the hardest. I feel like that's the hardest, to like outgrow people, or like, you know, to move on from people when you didn't want to move on in the first place. And I think when you are that person on that side of, especially like for me, I'm of course talking about my ex-relationship, and like being the person that was on the side of, I'm still holding on to this, like, and I wasn't ready to let go of it, and the other person was just like, yeah, no, they were done. So it just be kind of weird, and I'm not trying to get too deep into that because I came to a point of not even wanting to tell my side of the story, basically because it's not even necessary for me to tell my side of the story in a lot of situations anymore. I have my flaws, especially in my last relationship. I definitely have flaws in there. I was loyal the entire time. My loyalty is unmatched, and I will stand on that. And it's like certain shit that I would never do. So sometimes you just have to understand that everybody is just not you. Like, you can't expect somebody to match your loyalty, because if they're not loyal, they're simply not going to be loyal. You can't make anybody be loyal. I don't care what type of woman you are. I don't care what type of person you are. Like, if somebody's going to be loyal to you, they're going to be loyal to you. No matter how beautiful you are, no matter how loyal you are, no matter how much money you have, no matter how much motivation and drive you have, if that person does not want to be loyal, they're not going to be loyal. And one thing about it is, when that person is done using you and manipulating you, they'll be on to the next person. And that's 100%, I stand on that, because I feel that, and not even just in my situation, I feel like people, once they manipulate you, I'm like so I'm like so off center. I feel like once people manipulate you so many times and you start to learn their ways, I feel like that's when they kind of wrap up the party, wrap up the show, and they be on to the next. Like, once you can't they can't peacefully cheat or peacefully do you wrong without you just being oblivious and just like, you know, turning a blind eye to it and just not paying attention to them. Like once you catch on to their ways and they can't move the way that they used to move, it's like it stresses them out because they were all the fuckery, and it just stresses them out. And I feel like that's when they just kind of draw the lines. And for me, I should have drew that line 2 years ago. The reason I'm stuck where I'm at right now is because I am mad at myself for not listening to myself and trusting my intuition 2 years ago when I was about to leave. I believed lies again, and I believed a fucking fairy tale. Had I just listened to myself back then, I wouldn't be in this situation. Like, I want to say it, but I'm not trying to, like, I don't, like I said, I don't want to, like, I'm not like about to cry or anything. I just, how can I say it, like, without being a bitch? I'm like at a point, like, I think this is my problem because I have so much that I want to say, but I don't want to look like the bad guy for making someone else look like the bad guy. I also like feel like telling your side of the story sometimes doesn't do anything because people are going to feel a way about you no matter what. This is my problem. Like, this is probably why I have so much stuff just built up, because I don't say it. Like, and I just be like, just like rage and anger because I'm like mad at myself low-key, and I'm starting to forgive myself. But if I had listened to myself and trust my intuition the first time, I would not be sitting where I am today. I mean, I'm here for a reason, but I would not be going through what I'm going through today had I trust myself the first time. I had thoughts on leaving 2 to 3 years ago, you know, told, you know, certain things. If you catching what I'm throwing, just catch it. I was just told certain things, how things was going to be like this and it was going to be like that. And not even a year later, he ended it. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm still kind of like processing that, like to this day. Like, you begged me to stay so you can leave when you got ready to leave. But when I was thinking about leaving, I didn't trust myself, and that's my fault. But I didn't leave. And I'm like, but when, like with a man, one thing I will say about a man is that they're going to go with their instincts. I feel like a woman knows her intuition, but a man knows his instincts. And I think if we're going to compare the two, a man's instincts is just as powerful as a woman's intuition. And I think the fault in a lot of us women is that we don't trust our intuition like a man would trust their instincts and going with their first instinct. If we had that same common sense to go with our intuition like a man that follows their instinct, I swear it would save us so much heartache and heartbreak. I promise. He knew that he didn't want to be with me. Like, the moment you stepped out on me, you knew that that's not the type of shit that I wanted to be wrapped up in. And like, you knew, but you knew that I was still in love, and then you begged me to stay. Like, don't even want to talk about it. But ladies, just always trust your intuition, because it's the worst when you gotta sit there and like, it's kind of like fucked up. I'm cussing a lot in this video because I gotta like really get my point across, but it's kind of fucked up how you just don't trust your intuition. Like we just don't, because love, like, what? But that's pretty much my head these last few months. Like, and I said a mouthful, but I probably chop it down because I know me. And I wanted this video to be as raw as possible, but I kind of just did a lot of ums and grunts, and I don't know. Hold on.